Hey guys, Retired at 40. It's Friday, and as promised, I've got another Traeger recipe for you. Today we're doing Bayou Jerky, or Bayou Jerky, depending on how you want to pronounce it. You will need to allow some time for this because it does need to sit in the mixture for a while before you actually put it on the Traeger. So make sure you allow yourself some time, about 24 hours, maybe a little less. Alright, so I'm going to get right into this and give you the ingredients because there are quite a few ingredients that you'll need. You're going to need 2 pounds. This is London broil. You can use top or bottom round. You can use sirloin tip, but that's what we need. Also, you want it to be a pretty lean cut, otherwise you're going to need to trim all the fat off of it. So we're going to need some onion powder, some celery salt, some curing salt, some brown sugar, some gumbo filet, or I'm not sure how to actually pronounce it, it's F-I-L-E. You'll need some Cajun seasoning or rub, some beef bouillon, some hot sauce of your choice. I have 3 different kinds here. Some Worcestershire. Make sure you pronounce this correctly or you'll be publicly shamed like I have been. I once called it Worcestershire and I got ridiculed for a long time. Worcestershire. You also need some tomato juice and a large Ziploc bag. I'm going to make some tomato juice. That's our first ingredient. So grab a mixing bowl, set the meat aside for right now. And then we're going to do 1 cup of tomato juice and get our marinade started. So next we need half a cup of beef bouillon, which is actually half a cube if you're using the cubed type. So I'm going to throw this in the microwave for a quick second and warm it up so we can dissolve the bouillon. And then we'll add it to our mix. Okay, once your bouillon is ready, then add it into your marinade. Next we need 1/4 cup of hot sauce. I'm going to do a combination of different hot sauces. I'm going to do a little Frank's, I'm going to do a little bit of sriracha, and then I'm going to do some habanero pepper sauce. Then we're going to add that into the mix. Next we need 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Remember, Worcestershire. And we need a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning or Cajun Rub. Next we need a tablespoon of curing salt, and this is an optional piece to this puzzle, I guess, but it does actually help quite a bit if you want to use it. If you don't have it on hand, it's not the end of the world if you don't. You're also going to need 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Okay, we need a teaspoon of file powder, I don't know how to say it. And then a teaspoon of celery salt. And then 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And then keep your Cajun seasoning handy because we're going to need it later. We're going to mix all this up and then we're going to set it aside and we're going to use it here in a couple minutes. So next we're going to cut up our meat, and you can do this a couple different ways. I like to do it in about 1/4 inch strips, and make sure you trim all your fat, any kind of connective tissue, any things that you don't want in your jerky, just take off before you get started. You want to slice against the grain in 1/4 inch strips, similar to how you usually see beef jerky. So you want to end up with a pretty lean cut of meat. And those of you who don't know, this is my grandpa's butcher knife, who was actually a butcher, and he's no longer with us, but his spirit lives on through my videos. So next, take your large Ziploc bag, add the meat into the bag, and then we're going to add the marinade to the bag. Murph gets the scraps. You're not gonna eat them? Good boy. So we're gonna seal up the bag, take all the air out of it as much as you can. And we're just gonna kind of massage the bag, make sure everything is evenly coated. And then we're gonna go into the refrigerator. Minimum of 3 hours, maximum of just overnight is fine. So like I said, make sure that you allow plenty of time for this to marinate to get that maximum flavor out of it. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I chose to let mine marinate overnight. And this should be good and done. Now we're gonna go out to the grill and we're gonna set it on smoke and get it warmed up. All right, so we're gonna go to smoke. Double check and make sure you have plenty of pellets because we're gonna be in here for about 4 or 5 hours. All right, so now we wanna get most of the marinade off of the jerky. So I'm gonna run it through a strainer and then we're gonna paper towel it off. So once you have most of the marinade separated, just put it on a tray. We're going to try and paper towel the rest of it off, and then we're going to hit it with some more Cajun seasoning. So we're all seasoned, we're going to go directly onto the grill grate. Alright, there we go. We are ready to smoke for 4 to 5 hours on smoke. Alright, we're all loaded up with pellets. Our beef jerky is ready to go. And I want to talk about a lot of comments I've been getting on especially my Traeger review video about losing my man card because I have a Traeger, and Traegers are for millennials. But to me, the proof's in the pudding. Right here, this just shows you that a Traeger is a way to go. There's not that many options where you can just set something for 4 or 5 hours and completely walk away, hands off. I love it, and I'm not even a millennial. It's been about 4 hours now. Let's check on the jerky. You want it to be kind of pliable, which this looks really good. I think I'm gonna call it good. We're gonna put these in a resealable Ziploc bag. So we're going to let these sit at room temperature for about 1 hour. So I brought the judges in to give us a final taste test. After this is sat out room temperature for an hour, you can throw it in the fridge and it should be good for 2 to 3 weeks. How was it?
Good. Wait.
Don't forget to take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that like button if you found the video helpful. It really helps the video get out to the people who actually want to view it. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I always like hearing from the community. In the meantime, this is Retired at 40. Remember to live life simple. We'll catch you next week.